Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodia. I like to welcome guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the Eternals versus Apocalypse. It's a really weird one-shot. Came out year 2000. I had to check it out. I couldn't remember if it was 1999 or the year 2000. Written by, at least I'm not familiar with the writers, Karl, Bollers, and Mike Higgins. We have art by Joe Bennett and Scott Hanna. The art is serviceable, pretty basic for the time. And the story, it's not the best. It has a couple of interesting ideas. It's sort of a shame that we didn't get an ongoing series with this, because I would have liked to see some of the themes and ideas that they present here, where they would go with this and stuff like that. The fact that Apocalypse is one of my favorite Marvel villains of all times. And the Eternals themselves, like the Eternals and the Humans, both Jack Kirby creations, they were always super lame, but Marvel was able to revamp the Inhumans during the late 90s and 2000s, and they made them super cool until they pushed too hard into 2015s and stuff like that, but I don't want to go there. And the Eternals, I thought they were going to start to get the same treatment, but it took a while for them to get a really good series. I think Neil Gaiman was the one that wrote that awesome Eternal series with art by John Romita Jr. My memory serves me right. So at the beginning of the story, it sort of sets the stage. This nuclear submarine goes down to the bottom of the ocean, starts attacking Lemuria, which is actually the home of the Deviants. These are the Eternals' arch rivals, and all part of the celestial plan to jumpstart human evolution and crazy and complicated. But all you have to know is that the Deviants and Eternals hate each other. And one of the Deviants is this guy called Ransack. He's like the rebel. He's actually doesn't want the Deviants to fight the Eternals anymore. And this gold guy is actually a sorcerer, and I think his name is Gur or something like that. The Deviants, who always, his plan is to or take over the world or kill the Eternals or something within that vein. But they're attacked by this nuclear submarine. And when this nuclear sub destroys Lemuria, it also ends up with the destruction of the sub itself. So we sort of set the stage of the war between the Deviants and humans. So what happens is, because of the radiation, this is going to affect the Deviants. And what we discover, before we actually discover this, the story actually starts introducing us to new Eternals that are living amongst the humans. We're going to get into their names because all these characters, at least to my knowledge, we never see them again. So I remember reading this, it's like, it was pretty obvious. Like, I finished this issue and it's like, I knew we were never going to see some of these characters again, even though some of them are actually sort of interesting. Their powers or the design of the characters and stuff like that. These particular characters' designs are actually pretty cool. So we discovered that the one behind this attack, or the one that sort of pushed the situation, was Apocalypse, because these irradiated deviants start mutating, and he wants to see what he wants to sort of experiment with this situation to see how he can push these deviants into evolving themselves and becoming more dangerous, and to push the whole situation of the survival of the fittest. The cool thing is, it's implied that Apocalypse and the Eternals have history together. Both are super ancient. They've Icarus, the leader of the Eternals, mentions in the battles like, "Hey, I defeated you previously," and also in the Neil Gaiman story that came out in the mid 2000s. There's also a reference that the Apocalypse and the Eternals have tussled prior to this. So what happens is, who is like the Odin, the All-Father of the Eternals, he's resurrected. He's back from the dead. He's sort of trying. Icarus is trying to put him up to speed. This is Icarus. I forgot to show you guys here, to how the modern world is functioning, and sort of like friction between Zurus and Icarus of how to manage the situation, this possible war between the Deviants, the humans, and how this is going to affect, if it's going to affect the Eternals themselves. A good moment of dialogue where Azurus is sort of like a dick to the deviants. It's like, let them get killed and stuff like that. And Ransack is there. It's like, no, we have to intervene. We have to be humanitarians. Like, who are you? It's like, I'm a deviant, but I look just like you. Like, it's like, and Zurus is like a total dick to poor Ransack. So that part I found to be pretty entertaining. And it shows that Zurus is sort of out of touch with the world around him and stuff like that. So Apocalypse sends one of his experiments to attack San Francisco. It's Carcass, one of these Eternals that's deviants that's actually a good guy. We get Icarus and all these new Eternals. I was going to say Inhumans to try to stop this guy. We're going to get into the names. And just give me a second there of these characters. So they have to deal with this like kaiju level menace. While Icarus finds out that someone's pulling the strings, we get a brief battle between him and Apocalypse. Both are extremely powerful, so it's sort of cool to see that both can't defeat each other easily, so we get a tie. And they stop evil Carcass, and we get the introduction of this new team that we'll never see. Athena is now called Corona. Fastos is called Ceasefire. The Native American Eternal is called Tomorrowhawk. That's sort of cool. Then the guy with telepathic powers is called Psyche. Electric powers, Sparks. Yeah, you went crazy with that. Chi Demon. Ransack is called Warhead. And there's another one called, I think it's Cersei, is Mesmer now. I think. I might make a mistake. And they're called the New Breed. And we get this one shot and they're never seen again. So this is sort of like an oddity. It's just a little bit of fun. I just love Apocalypse as a villain. So hope you guys like this video. See you guys next time. Bye.